Welcome back to Pure Oxygen. In the beginning, there was my desk with a computer, a phone, and a height-adjustable chair, and I was blessed. But lo, as I toiled diligently at my labors, there arriveth a pain in my neck, and a voice called down from the control room, let there be a Pure Oxygen segment about it. So down from the Upper West Side came Deborah Quilter, our ergonomics angel, to help bring peace to my desk for all time. Deborah, good to see you.
Good to see you, ma'am.
And I need some help, I think.
I'm happy to help you.
Good. Now, you wrote this book, the Repetitive Strain Injury Recovery book.
That's right.
First off, what is RSI?
Repetitive strain injury is an umbrella term that can refer to any number of injuries in the upper limb. It could affect your shoulders, your biceps, your elbows, your wrists, your fingers. People have heard of carpal tunnel syndrome or epicondylitis, which is tennis elbow.
Okay, and that has something to do with how you're set up at your desk, right?
That's part of it, a big part of it.
All right, well, I'm willing to be your guinea pig right now because I haven't really gotten set up properly, I don't think, because I haven't had time.
This is the best time when you're beginning a...
So what do you do first?
The first thing you do is start with the chair, and I'd actually like to make the point that here we have a good example of what goes on all over America. There's two separate people of different heights.
Right, and John and I would definitely be of different heights.
You're about
5 feet even.
I'm 6'3".
Yes, and how are you comfortable?
I'm comfortable, yeah, I feel pretty comfortable.
See, he looks very comfortable. I'm not.
Yeah.
I mean, look at my feet sort of
dangling.
dangle, and I'm not that comfortable at my desk.
Okay, so we start here by lowering your chair. You can lower your chair so that
until my feet.
Okay,
and that's good.
Your hips look good to me. Your hips are slightly higher than your knees, which is good.
Because I have the little tilt on my
little
chair.
pelvic tilt, which reduces back strain.
Okay.
But you're still a little bit forward. They make, just for your information, Goldilocks was right. You need mama bear, papa bear, and baby bear sized chairs.
I would maybe need a baby bear chair. Okay,
but
so what do we do that?
we can fix yours until you get one. They make chairs that are for people your size, but this will help bring you a little bit more
so that's much
forward.
better.
Yeah.
Right.
Then what we do is this is too high for you because it'll lead to, you said, neck strain, and one of the reasons
I kind of feel like I'm typing like this.
That's right. And that, to get you out of that, we will get you an adjustable keyboard tray so that your keyboard is right down here.
So I'd be down here.
Is that more comfortable?
Much better, much better.
Yeah, that's where you need your keyboard and your mouse.
Okay, so I need one of those.
That's big enough for that. Your monitor actually looks great. It's right in front of you, and you don't have to look up at it, which is not a good, or down.
So you want it eye level,
You want
basically.
it eye level so that your head is right over your torso in good posture. I'd also like to point out that John has a problem here. He's looking off to the side, and that can lead to neck strain.
Do you have some strain there, John?
A little. Sure.
It's like
so
watching
it should be directly in front of you,
in front of you, so that you're not typing off like this.
Okay, all right. Well, now I have a question about the phone. You know, a lot of times I'll be sort of working and then answering the phone, and you know, at the same time I have to type, so I'm doing this.
Yes, that throws you all off at your neck strain.
Okay.
There's a telephone headset right over there.
Right.
Use your headset. Everybody needs a headset because people think that they don't cradle the phone, but they wind up doing it a lot more than you.
So this will relieve the strain from the neck and shoulders. Okay.
Exactly.
Now, if you don't do all of this and don't change the way you're situated, what could happen to you? Permanent damage?
You can become permanently disabled by repetitive strain injury, and I know a lot of people who can't work anymore.
Is it not taken seriously enough, though, by people?
People are beginning to address these things. In fact, OSHA is trying to pass an ergonomics standard that will make it law. But a lot of employers are already coming in, and if people have home workstations, I encourage them to do this now. Don't wait until you're in pain. Your hands are very important.
Okay, for instance, my desk right now, I can't change the desk situation, and a lot of people are probably in the same office situation as well, and a lot of people don't want to spend a lot of money to change it. So there are small things that people can do, just like you showed me.
Like putting the monitor in front of you. Keyboard trays are not expensive. You can attach one right underneath your desk.
What about this?
Headsets are widely available, and they're not that expensive either when it comes down to it.
So you can shop around.
You can shop around for these things.
One last piece of advice. What about exercises to relax and sort of relieve your strain?
Yes, breaks. Very important. Every 20 minutes, get up out of your chair and stretch.
Okay.
Stretch your neck, look from right to left, tilt your head. and get up and walk. Get the blood back flowing to your brain.
So whenever you get a chance to do that, do it.
Absolutely.
Okay, Deborah Quilter, thank you very much for all that advice and those tips.
Thank you.
Hopefully I'll be feeling better next time.
I hope so.
All right, well, I will definitely not procrastinate and change my desk around so that I can get rid of all of my strains. And I suggest you all check out Deborah's website, rsihelp.com, for lots more angelic ergonomics advice. Welcome back to Pure Oxygen. If we're not guilty ourselves, we've all witnessed the offense. Yes, I'm talking about sloppy keyboard techniques at the computer. That familiar slouching, twisting, and pounding can put us at risk for repetitive strain injury, an occupational hazard that accounts for 34% of all work lost to injury and illness. Now, prevention is key. Here to teach us how to type correctly is Deborah Quilter, author of the Repetitive Strain Injury Recovery book. Deborah, good to see you again. Well, Deborah, first of all, define RSI for us.
Repetitive strain injury is an umbrella term that can refer to any number of injuries from the neck, the shoulder, the upper arm, the elbow, the forearm, the wrist, and the fingers. A lot of people have heard of two common forms of RSI, which are carpal tunnel syndrome and epicondylitis, tennis elbow.
Right, okay, and we're obviously seeing more of it because we're all working on computers these days, right? All right, so what should we think of when we think of proper technique then?
Well, it starts with the posture. You want to sit just as tall as you can. So in fact, you sit as though you were standing in good posture.
Okay.
You should be able to balance a book on your head. The ear should be over the shoulder and over the hips. And you stay in this good posture. Then your arms are relaxed completely by your sides. You should never have to lift at all. That's why we have the keyboard tray down there.
Okay.
Then I brought my dots.
Okay. I know she's got these really colorful dots for us.
Shows you the wrist.
Uh-huh. And the positioning, I guess,
And the
right?
positioning, yeah.
Okay.
So you want to keep your shoulders square. The elbow is slightly greater than 90. And then the wrist is straight. And we have the dots because you can actually see the straight line. You don't want to be ulnar deviating.
Oh,
this
right.
is twisting to the...
So it should be absolutely straight that way.
absolutely straight, which
Okay.
affects how you use your hands.
Okay.
So basically, you move this so that the G and the H are right in front of your belly button,
Oh.
so that you're not out here. See the difference here? You would have been
See,
out there.
that's how I do it.
Yeah, so you just, you move it over, and then you just type, you know, with your fingers perfectly curved. If you need to find how your fingers should be curved, all you have to do is let your hands dangle by your side.
So it's the very natural position.
Very unstressed. Then you see a lot of people when they're hitting the cap locks or the enter key,
Right.
they will twist the wrist. And instead of doing that, you
Which is very
move-
common, isn't it?
Very common.
Right.
It's how your typing teacher taught you how to type. This is not right anymore.
Okay.
We want to keep the tendons and the nerves in a neutral position in order not to strain them. So we move the whole hand, and what I like to do is use two fingers when I'm hitting a big fat key like that, which brings us to the next point. You see a lot of people, especially men, they
Pounding.
want to show how hard they're working, so they just
Yeah.
pound the keyboard. No, 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 no.
Really?
We
Okay.
kiss
the keyboard, okay.
as lightly as possible. We
All
want
right.
our little fingers, let gravity take you down. There is no reason why you have to actually hit the key.
Yeah, because gone are the days of those old typewriters where you really did have to pound,
Yeah,
right?
exactly. So, and you also want to use your back muscles, which brings us to another point. When you are mousing, you would move everything over here so that your keyboard's in front, sorry. Bring your mouse down to the same level. If you have it up here, it can strain every single muscle all the way up to your neck.
Well, see, this is my desk, everyone, so obviously my mouse is not in the right position, okay?
But now you know, and
Yeah.
you'll feel better now that you know this.
So even something like the mouse, it really determines how
Oh.
you are positioned and the feeling that you have?
Absolutely. The mouse
okay.
is very important. In fact, use the mouse sparingly.
Yeah.
Whenever possible, don't use the mouse. Use keystrokes instead. There's always a Control D or a Control E or something like that. You can look it up in the menu on your software program. If you absolutely have to use the mouse, you hold it as though you were holding a little bird.
Okay.
As gently. You don't want to squeeze. You know, so you hold it gently, and then rather than resting your wrist, you never want to rest your wrist because then
I was going to ask you because, you have these wrist pads here on a lot of keyboards, and you find that, you sort of rest your whole hand on it. Is that not a good thing to do?
That's not a good thing to do because you're bending your wrist, and also you're not letting the powerful muscles of your back do the work. You're letting all these little tiny muscles of the hand be strained.
Okay.
So, did you ever take piano lessons?
I actually did, and I was going to say, it reminds me of playing the piano because you have to sort of hold your wrist straight. And
your piano teacher was right.
Right.
That's
and that's a very
absolutely right.
relaxed position.
Exactly, and you use your back.
Right.
You use your back. So same thing with the mouse or the keyboard. You let the fingers float above the keys and use the whole hand. If you're making 2 keystrokes, you use both hands instead of stretching your hand.
Right.
A lot of people hit the space bar way too hard. You can give yourself a serious thumb injury if you do that.
Well, so these tips ought to help us feel a lot better then.
Yes.
All right, Deborah, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Now check out Deborah's website, rsihelp.com, for warning signs and advice. Protect those carpal tunnels. You're watching Pure Oxygen.
Welcome back to Pure Oxygen. If you're like most parents, you probably love to see your kids keeping busy at the computer. There's a lot of great educational stuff out there, but excessive time at the PC can cause severe and lasting injury to a child's little hands. But there is hope. It's time for You Can Do That. Here to teach us ergonomics for kids is the author of the Repetitive Strain Injury Recovery book, Deborah Quilter. That's my favorite graphic. You want to know why?
Why?
Do you remember Bella Caroli at the Olympics with Kerry Strug?
Yes.
You can do it!
You can do it!
Okay.
We can do this.
With that said, let's acknowledge our little friend here. We're going to call her Baby Oxygen today.
Hello,
It's
Baby
sort of our early tribute to Halloween, so don't let her frighten you, okay? All right,
We'll
we'll
take
work
care
with
of
it.
this.
Okay, now we're talking about repetitive strain injury. Explain to me.
Repetitive strain injury is an umbrella term that can refer to any injury in the upper limb, from the upper back, the shoulder, the top of the shoulder, the outside and inside of the elbows, the forearms, the thumb,
That
and the
carpal tunnel
fingers.
syndrome?
Carpal tunnel syndrome is one form, but you've heard of tennis elbow, golfer's elbow, bowler's elbow, Nintendo
That's
thumb.
why I don't do sports. Okay, now, children are so resilient. There's going to be parents watching this that say, look, my child falls out of a tree and they're fine. Do I really have to worry about them at the computer?
I think so, because repetitive strain injury is a cumulative trauma disorder. That means it doesn't happen overnight. It's very much like one cigarette doesn't necessarily give you lung cancer. It's the 30 cigarettes day in, day out that you're doing for 20 or 30 years that add up over time. It's the same thing.
Okay, what factors can attribute to RSI?
Well, there are several things. The workstation is one. Baby Oxygen has a pretty good setup. But
We'd like to take care of Baby Oxygen. As a matter of fact, we have a picture of a real child. Let's play What's Wrong with This Picture.
Okay.
This is Gigi, an honorary staff member here, and we set her at one of our desks. Explain to me what's wrong with this picture.
Well, starting from the top, her monitor is too high, so she's looking up. You can give yourself neck strain and headaches from that.
Okay.
And then it looks to me like she needs help with her technique because she's resting her wrists, and I seem to see her feet dangling. That can give you back problems. That cuts off the circulation to the legs, and that's not a good thing for anybody to do.
So what's the correct setup? How should Gigi be sitting?
Gigi should be sitting like Baby Oxygen.
Okay, with her eye level is sort of...
Yes, you should be able to sit in perfect posture with a book balanced on top of your head. The screen should be right about here so you're not looking up or down.
Okay.
Elbows and ears in line.
Because a lot of the children's games, we should say, are not the keyboard, but the mouse.
The mouse, yes. She's got a problem right here because she seems to be resting her wrist. This can lead to nerve compression injuries, and too much mousing is really not a good thing. If possible, use the keyboard because that way you can balance the work between 10 fingers and 2 hands. We're seeing a lot of shoulder problems from the mouse.
Really? So
yes.
What we're saying here, it's really important to start young. It's kind of like the way you learn to hold your pencil in first grade is the way you'll always hold it.
Absolutely.
Teach good habits at the computer when they're young and they'll
Your
follow
mother
through.
was right. Sit and stand tall because the poor posture leads to terrible back problems, neck problems,
Don't
all
I
the way
know.
down the line.
Now let's talk about this desk. We have a special desk here.
Yes. We can raise and lower this desk
This
using...
is a Knowles desk, correct?
Right. And it can go up and down. That way the whole family can use it. You can see it coming up and down.
Which is a great point. I don't mean to interrupt, because I'm reading this and I'm saying most families only have one computer set up. Most families don't have a children's computer so is it okay to compromise?
I don't think so, because you wouldn't like it if somebody put you at a giant's workstation, because then you'd be straining your body. So we have to look out for our children and take care of them the same way.
Okay, how much time is safe for a child to spend at the computer?
Well, that's another problem. Nobody really knows. And we are looking at the leading occupational injury among adults. So I'd say every 20 minutes, make sure that your child takes a break. And you'll notice if they're really riveted that Susie's really not listening to us. Baby Oxygen is tuning us out. So we may have to say, it's time for your break. Get up, get out of your chair.
Go play some
stretch,
tag.
play
Go outside.
tag, go outside.
Okay, and now I want to close with video games, because my nieces and nephews, you cannot speak to them when they're playing video games, and they're sort of get so into it, they're hunched over,
Yes.
they have the thumbs going.
Yes.
That can't possibly be good for them.
The thumb joint is very delicate, and if you hurt the thumb joint, the rest of the hand is not, you can't pick things up. So we must really be very wary of children using these computer games, and they're addictive. The kids just don't want to stop playing.
They don't want to stop
No.
playing. So basically what we're saying is sort of balance the time at the computer with the time that they play outside, and sort of monitor
Yes.
what they're doing, and maybe sit at
Yes.
the computer with your child.
The computer is not a babysitter. We really
Good
need to
point.
be aware of what children are doing, and get up, go out and play. Get
Okay.
some exercise, build a strong body.
And teach good habits young, and they'll
Teach good
continue
habits.
as they get older.
That's right.
Okay, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
For more information on ergonomics for children, check out Deborah's website, rsihelp.com.
Attention, cette New-Yorkaise est une justicière. Envers et contre tous, elle dénonce les méfaits de la cybersociété, une passionnariat qui veut protéger les enfants des ordinateurs.
Their mouse would be up here because they're little people and their feet dangle from the chair, which is hard on the lower spine. They're looking up at the computer up here when it should be level so that they can keep their thing. Or their posture is terrible because of their chair, so they're sitting like this instead of tall. Or they're hunched up here, you know, they're no neck. You want to keep your neck long. Think of yourself as a swan, a ballerina. Stretch, breathe, stretch your neck, you know, from side to side. Get up and walk. If you're on the phone, you can march in place. You can roll your shoulders. No one's watching you, but you can get exercise and move, but get out of the chair.
Quant aux puissants de l'Internet, il reste sans commentaire face à ces déclarations.
All right, joining us now, Deborah Quilter. She's written a book called The Repetitive Strain Injury Recovery Book. Welcome, first of all, to Good Day Wake Up. Tell us exactly what repetitive strain injury is.
Repetitive strain injury is an umbrella term for any injury that can happen along the upper extremity, which means it can happen to your hands, your wrists, your forearms, your upper arm, your neck, or your back. Some people have heard of carpal tunnel syndrome, de Quervain's disease, epicondylitis. Those are some kinds of repetitive strain injury.
Now, you've suffered from it,
I have, yes.
and that's why you basically wrote the book.
That's why I wrote the book.
And you've also brought along a keyboard to demonstrate how you can get it and how you can avoid it.
That's right. Because anyone who uses their hands repetitively can be at risk for RSI, but it's happening more and more because of computer keyboards. And the big reason is that the way people use their hands and the way they sit. Most computer keyboard users rest their wrist on the edge of the table as they key.
It's comfortable that way.
It's comfortable in the short term, but what happens is instead of using the strong muscles in your back to support the arm, you're putting all the strain on the tiny little muscles of your hand and forearm. And it leads to problems such as ulnar deviation, which means that your hand is twisting sideways when you're going to reach the key. And this is dorsiflexion. It's sort of like the Supremes Stop in the Name of Love when you bend your wrist up that way.
You want to keep your wrist in a neutral position.
All right, show us how to do that.
Well, it's very easy. You find the center finger and you match that knuckle to the center of the wrist, and then when you're moving your hands, you move the whole hand with the fingers curved. So instead of doing that to reach the return key, I would reach over with my whole hand, keeping it in a neutral position. The other big problem is the way people sit. Most people...
Do we have to talk about posture right now? Oh, this early in the morning?
Well, your mother was right.
Sit up straight.
Sit up straight, stand up straight.
Okay.
The way most people sit at the keyboard is with their heavy head, which weighs about 10 pounds when you're sitting up straight, but weighs about 30 pounds when you're sitting back in your chair like this, which means that the muscles of your neck really have to grip and hang on. And if you're wondering why you have neck pain, that's probably one good reason.
Okay,
so you sit tall as you key.
That's the key to the whole thing. All right, again, we should tell the folks at home, the book is called Repetitive Strain Injury Recovery. I know you've got some exercises also that we can do. Quickly, can you tell us what a few of those are?
Well, there's some stretches. The important thing to remember is that most people are weak in their back. So you want to do exercises like rows that strengthen the muscles between your shoulder blades. You want to stretch the muscles of your chest so that you can have a nice, broad, open posture.
All right.
Avoid doing little squeezy exercises with the hands.
Okay, fascinating stuff. Things that we wouldn't think of, but are necessary for us.
That's right.
Deborah Quilter, thanks so much for being with us.
Thank
All right, we'll be back in a minute.
I'm Christina Ha with the New York Living Report on furnishing a home. When running a business from home, it's important to furnish your workspace comfortably, not only to maximize productivity, but also for health reasons. Deborah Quilter, author of Repetitive Strain Injury, the Computer User's Guide, says a key way to do this is by investing in the right computer desk and chair.
More important than pretty looks or having a chic surrounding. It's very important for your health to allow yourself to position yourself properly at the computer so that you're not causing stress.
That can lead to various on-the-job injuries, including neck and back pain, tennis elbow, and carpal tunnel syndrome.
If you don't have the right setup, you can compromise your body. What you're doing is asking your body to hold itself in an awkward and stressful position.
No matter how much money you decide to spend, make sure the furniture you select is strong and sturdy. A good computer chair can cost you anywhere from $75 to $1,500. Always be sure to take the chair on a test run. Sit in it and try it out before you buy it.
When you're buying a chair, you want to look for three important elements. You want the chair to be adjustable in terms of height, so that you can raise and lower it so that your feet are going to be flat on the floor. Then you want good lumbar support so that your spine is supported. You don't want a chair that rocks back when you lean back. You want it to stay straight when you're keying or typing or mousing. You want a chair that's going to support your good posture with your ear over your shoulder, over your hip. And speaking of the hip, there's also a good thing in a chair is pelvic tilt, because you want your hips slightly higher than your knees. This takes the pressure off your lower back.
You can spend about $75 on a keyboard tray attachment like this one for an existing desk, or spend up to a couple of $1,000 if you purchase a new high-end computer desk.
If you have the space in your apartment, this is a very nice configuration because it allows you plenty of space to use both of your hands to place frequently used objects like books and the telephone. Most importantly, there's plenty of leg room underneath so that you're not cramped when you're working. And there's an adjustable keyboard tray surface that you can pull out. This allows you to keep your shoulders down instead of what would happen if you had the keyboard up here. You'd be typing up like this, which is very stressful to your neck and shoulder muscles.
Proper chairs and desks for your home office can easily be found at office supply and equipment stores or through mail order catalogs.
And Quilter says while it's easy to get comfortable in a home office setup, be sure to take the extra effort to take breaks away from your workstation every 25 minutes. In Manhattan, Christina Ha, New York 1.
Welcome back to NBC Nightside. President Clinton has called for computers in every classroom by the year 2000. So if your child is not already online, it's only a matter of time. And as a parent, you should know that improper use of a computer by your child could lead to a lifetime of injuries. Nightside's Hillary Lane reports.
Look at this child's wrist.
And this is really bent rather than being straight.
And why is that happening?
Well, the table is too high. She can't keep her mouse down here where she could keep her wrist straight. Even if you're not making a repetitive motion, you can still get into big trouble by just holding an awkward position.
Repetitive strain injuries represent about 62% of all workplace health problems, but there's no research yet on whether children are the next victims.
Are there subtle damages going on in our current population of little kids who are using computers right now? Do we want to condemn little children to a life of could be agonizing pain?
Today, my mom, or Big Martha, as we all like to call her, is 91 years young and still going strong. So what is the secret to aging and living well? We went to the prestigious Mount Sinai Hospital here in New York and asked Mom, her doctor, and some of her peers to share the secrets to their success. Take a look.
I'm Leticia. I'm 83 years young.
My name is Gertrude, and I'm 84 years old.
I'm Dorothy, and I'm 88.
I'm Martha, and I'm 91, almost.
Successful living boils down to don't stop. I'm Dr. Brent Ridge, and I'm Assistant Professor of Geriatric Medicine at Mount Sinai.
Well, Mount Sinai is noted for its geriatric department, and since I fit into that category,
I tell my patients all the time, don't stop doing what you love to do.
Dancing, I just love. That's my middle name.
My daughter says New York City is your treadmill because I do so much walking.
I swim 5 days a week.
I spend too much time reading the New York Times every day.
People say that, the new 70 is 60, and I think there are lots of examples of people who are living very active lives well into their 80s and 90s.
I came in second in the backstroke in the state of New York, and I was quite proud.
Take a listen. Education is really the focus of what we do, educating the patient about how to best live their lives, educating the care providers and their relatives how to help this patient age better. If we could get our patients to learn something new every day, then half of our job would be done. Their brain function would remain stronger, their physical health would remain stronger. We've done a lot of work already, but there's a lot of work to be done.
Well, Dr. Brent Ridge is here with us now. Welcome, Brent. And Brent, who looks like, 12 years old, is a serious doctor, very interested in geriatrics and in successful aging. And what got you interested?
Well, when I was younger, I spent a lot of time with my grandparents and even my great-grandparents, and obviously that had a huge influence on me. And also, I really like the personal history aspect of the job and having that access to a tangible piece of our past. And then from a sociological standpoint, I've always been really fascinated by the baby boom generation and how they've driven change in American culture and what they're going to do to the healthcare system.
Right, and we have to pay attention to those baby boomers, don't we?
It's very important.
Very important. And Letice, Gertrude, and Dorothy, who are also on that tape, are also here in the audience. And welcome, very welcome to you. Letice, I just want to ask them a couple of questions because look at those shoes. Come on, 83 years old, and you are pretty cool. I love high heels, and I'm very happy to see you. You must have some other secrets to your success other than dancing.
Well, I line dance every Friday, and I have a young man right behind me.
And Gertrude, I hear that aging does well in your family. Anything to say about that?
Well, my mother lived to 101.
Oh, wow, great.
And I hope to also.